Thanks for joining me this week on Pets. I've got a great guest for you today, maybe even one of your neighbors. Today we're going to be talking with Dawn Jones of Catamount Carpet Cleaning in the Mount Snow area. And we're going to learn about different ways that we can make our homes to seem a little bit less like we have so many pets. So thanks for coming, Dawn. Appreciate you joining us today.
Hey, thank you, Deb. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Now, Dawn, we know each other, and I know some information about you, but tell everybody what pets you have.
Well, right now we're down to one, which is the love of our life. It's an 11-year-old chocolate lab, and her name is Nina. So we've got one dog now, but I do have a pet cemetery, unfortunately, with 5 animals up there. So we've had our share of cats and dogs.
Yeah. I think that's true of many of us that live in the country. I have lilac bushes planted out where mine are. Yeah. That's cool. Nice. And I do know Nina. Nina, she's been a guest at my house. And in fact, I'm going to show folks a picture of Nina so that they can see it, so they can see what a gorgeous girl she is with her little gray muzzle that she's getting. So that's great. And you, besides being the owner and operator of Catamount Cleaning, you are also doing another project with your wife, Jane, which I think is fabulous. Working not with pets, but with kids.
Yeah, we're excited about it. It's called Magical Earth Retreats. And we created it because there's such a nature deficit disorder with children, and they're becoming obese because it's easier for their parents to throw them a bag of cookies when they're sitting and playing their video games rather than get them outside and reconnect with nature. I know when we were kids, we were outside from dawn till dusk, went in for dinner and went back outside again. Well, they don't do that, so they're losing their imagination and their creativity, and they're being bullied in school because they're becoming obese, and there's going to be a lot of long-term health implications if we all don't do something.
Right. So just tell folks a little bit about what you do with Magical Earth Retreats.
Magical Earth Retreats, we run a series of day camps for children, and we have a full day, 5-day program, and we just have a ball with kids, and we've had a lot of good responses. And we've got some exciting things planned this summer. We're working with a local inn that she'll be putting some people up, and she wants to be the go-to inn for our camps. So we've got a lot of things.
Great. And that's here in Vermont.
That's here in Vermont, and you can check it out at magicalearthretreats.com.
Great. We'll make sure that goes up so people can see that. So that's fabulous. I love that. Dawn, when people come into some of our homes, I know one of the first questions people say to me when they come into my house is, how many dogs do you have? Which is a little bit embarrassing because I know it's because they can smell the dogs. And I'm sure that I know when I go into people's homes sometimes, I know that they have cats. And so what are some of the things that people can do themselves? And you've brought some things that you can show us. But if you do have carpets in your home and you're dealing with whatever it is that has ended up on the carpet that you want out, tell us a little bit about what professional carpet cleaners do, and then you can tell us what folks can do at home.
Well, one of the big problems, like you mentioned, the homeowner really can't smell the pets. Once they're in their home for 10 minutes, they become accustomed to it. Somebody coming in from the outside, it hits them in the nose right away. So once you're in the home for a while, you get used to it. But cats in particular, and I love cats because I've had cats, but if you have a urine problem, and some old cats do have urine problems, and puppies and dogs, there are ways to remedy the urine situation. If it's a minor problem, then the homeowner can usually take care of it themselves with a white vinegar and water combination. It's like 10 to 1, 1 part vinegar, 10 parts water. And if they have a shop vac and they know where the spot is, they can actually flush the spot with the vinegar solution, put the shop vac on it, extract it out, and then flush it with fresh water and flush it out. And then there's also another trick that because carpet's dry from the bottom to the top, so if there's anything in there, it will come and sit on the fibers. When it dries, you put a white cotton towel on top of the spot, put a book or something to weight it down. The last thing that will come in contact with is the towel, and the spot will be lifted. It's called packing out a spot. So that's something that the homeowner can do.
Great. So that's good. That's good to know. And show us a little bit about what is under our carpets.
Well, in most homes, this is a typical Berber carpet. And a lot of padding is a foam padding. It's called Rebond, and it's actually made from automobile seats,
Nice.
chopped up seats. And this is pretty common in most homes. This particular pad is designed to be used with a Berber carpet, and I see a lot of the Rebond used, but it shouldn't be because it wears better with this. It's a synthetic felt, and it's used for sub-basements. It can be it's designed to be wet and be reused. You can clean this, you can deodorize this, and it wears like iron. So this can be cleaned. So I'd recommend this. So,
But what about this one? Like if you have a really bad problem with your carpet and this was underneath, what should people do?
well, you lift the carpet up, take a utility knife, cut out the affected section of carpet and throw it out. So when an animal urinates on a carpet, it goes through the carpet, and then it goes through the pad, and then it sits on the subflooring. And about 3 months later, it turns to a salt. And our busiest time in our business with urine contamination from pets is usually July, August, September. Because when it turns to a salts, the humidity activates the salts, and then the odor comes and permeates the home. So that's our busiest time. So, and if you have an old dog that's been urinating all over the carpet, sometimes it's more cost effective to rip up the carpet and the pad, disinfect the floor, and replace it.
Right.
Than to
Right.
try and correct it.
Right, and yes, and also important, especially if you have a younger dog or a dog who likes to mark,
Yes.
that if you don't get rid of that smell,
It's gonna go right
the
back.
dogs just come right back. And I have a problem with that in my house where some dogs will come in, they smell something, and the first thing they do is pee on something.
They all want to mark their
They all
territory.
want to mark it, and once they're done, they're, they do it,
Right.
and that's good. But then I know the next time another dog comes in, all I need is one to start, and I've got 4 dogs,
Yeah.
and 3 of them will do it.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty serious. We go into a home and people say, well, I know there's a urine problem, but we can't see it. Well, there's tools that we have
Yeah.
that we carry, and one is this black light. Now, this black light, the room has to be fairly dark, but once you turn on this black light and you shine it around the carpet, it will actually illuminate where all the urine is. And there's another tool that we use. This here is a moisture sensor, and you put it on the carpet, and it will any type of moisture, it
Yeah.
reaches about 3/4 of an inch down, it will activate this meter.
Yeah.
So those are 2 of the ways that we can find out where the urine actually is.
Right, right. Well, because how much am I? I'm like 80% water or something? Or am I,
you'll
humans
read
are...
it. This goes from 0 to 1,000, and you will.
Oh, let me see what I was.
Oh, you're gonna read right up there. You're wet.
I'm 1,000.
You're wet.
Yes,
You're-
I'm
you're-
hydrated.
Yes, you are.
I'm
for sure.
hydrated. Great.
But it's a great tool.
Great. And I mean, I know that folks can, I've seen these, that you can buy these
Sure.
lights.
They're fairly inexpensive now, and they come in all different
Right.
sizes and shapes.
Yeah, I don't know that I want one, actually,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth. I'm not. So, does it make sense for folks to use any of the products that are specifically designed? You can buy them in the grocery store, those enzymatic cleaners.
Well, the enzymes work if you know where the spot is, and we use it if there's several spots, and we find it with our meters where the spot is. I use a carpet syringe. It's about this long, and I will mix up an enzyme, and then I'll put it through the carpet in the pad, and I will shoot it into the carpet and let it dwell. Now, if it's a contaminated carpet, we have to rip up half the room. You put plastic down, you put the carpet, and you actually flood it with a couple gallons of enzyme. Let it sit for 24 to 36 hours. And I have another tool here. This is called a water claw. And what it is, you either put a shop vac on this, and after you flood the carpet, especially small spots, you put it on the carpet, press down, and it will extract probably 97% of all the liquid that you just put into the carpet. Then you put the fresh water in, you do it again, and you can do this as many applications as you want. And then you can dry the top of the carpet with a hair dryer and pack it out again with a towel.
Right,
And
right. So all is not necessarily lost if you have a carpet that's had urine stains on it. I mean, some folks, not me, but some folks have pretty fancy carpets in their home,
absolutely.
oriental carpets and things. I mean, do they have to write them off, or you can clean those as well?
Oriental rugs, unless it's a real antique rug that's made with vegetable dyes and has a tendency to bleed, we take them back to the shop and we actually give them a bath. And we do that in the vinegar solution, vinegar and water solution. And we soak these carpets sometimes for hours. And then we flush them with fresh water, and then if we have to retreat them again, we do. Because the white vinegar will break down the salts and make the urine soluble, so it can be lifted and float free of the carpet. and then we bathe the carpets, and then we extract them, and then we dry them, and then we deodorize them, and they're good to go. We've saved a lot of expensive Orientals. And it seems like dogs and cats really love the Oriental rugs.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, we talk a lot about, we always think about the horizontal surfaces, but what about some of those vertical surfaces when you have animals that, I suppose dogs could urinate on walls, but I often think of, you know, cats who are busy, those male cats, spraying.
Yeah, that's very true. The male cats will back up against the wall, and they'll spray on the wall. Now, sometimes we've done a room and cleaned and disinfected the carpet completely, and there's still an odor. Well, it took me a few minutes to realize that take the black light, you go around the wall, and you can see where they've marked 10 inches or a foot up the wall with urine. And so now you need to do is wash it down with the vinegar solution, and then wash it down again with soap and water, and eliminate that odor.
Yeah. So it sounds like vinegar, white vinegar. I mean, do I need to go and buy fancy enzymatic cleaners, or should I just go with heavy doses of white vinegar?
I would use the vinegar solution first, and always test it in an inconspicuous spot, because you don't want to get a color loss in a carpet, and especially in a really expensive rug. The enzymes, and a lot of them contain deodorizers. They promote carpet fresh, things of that nature, which to me is you're just masking the problem. You want to eliminate the problem.
Right.
You just don't want to mask it, because it's going to come back again. As soon as July and August hit, forget about it.
Right,
Maybe you'll
right,
smell
yeah,
urine.
yeah. I actually don't even like the smell of a lot of those products because it's just too perfumey for me.
A lot of people are really getting chemical sensitive to things like that too. So white vinegar is a natural thing. And I prefer, rather than water, club soda, because it also has an effervescence, which will help lift and bring things to the surface. So I have my emergency spotting kit consists of a gallon of white vinegar and a quart of club soda, and a white cotton towel, because if you have a spot, you want to blot it out. You don't want to rub it, because you'll damage the fibers. Just keep blotting it and flushing it, and a shop vac is a must, because now you can flood it and extract it.
Right, right. Good idea. Good idea. And what about furniture? What about furniture?
We've had, on a number of occasions, people have had cushions saturated with a urine problem with cats, for instance. It's very difficult. Sometimes you need to replace the foam cushion. We can launder or clean the fabric, but if it gets inside the cushion itself, sometimes it's just cheaper to get a new piece of foam and make a new cushion. If not, then you have to take the foam out, put it in a plastic bag, dump an enzyme on it, saturate the foam, extract, let it sit overnight, 24 hours, extract it, try and dry it. You have more labor involved in trying to save a $20 piece of foam than it's worth. So,
Right, right.
But you need to clean the fabric, and we can take care of that.
Right. It's good to know. I'm thinking about, we were talking about this earlier, for maybe property owners, landlords, you know, that one of the things that's very hard for people who own pets is to find a place to rent. You cannot rent a place if you have pets in many cases. And I'm going to guess part of the reason is because of the damage that's caused, and that they end up being stuck with having to do a lot of this, you know, this cleaning.
Yeah, you're right. And we do, it's funny you should say that, because yesterday I visited a house that a tenant is moving out of. He was not supposed to have a cat. He has a cat. The landlord found out about the cat, and he's very allergic, in his family are allergic to cats. So he called us in there. So now we have to take all his Oriental rugs out. We have to clean all his furniture. He has hardwood floors in most of his home, except for the area rugs. So we need to totally clean his house. And we do that a lot, because we pre-vacuum our truck-mounted equipment. We'll remove all the dander in the cat hair and things of that nature.
Right.
So we do it a lot for people that have allergies for cats and dogs.
Yeah, yeah. It's too bad that more people didn't realize how well it can be done, so that it's just maybe even built into the plan for folks that part of the rental agreement is that after you leave, this is what's going to happen,
Right.
so that at least people could keep their pets with them.
Yes.
You know, so-
And I'm pro-pet, believe me.
Yeah.
But sometimes you see people neglect their pets, unfortunately. But if you, like you say, if it's in your clause, when you're moving out of an apartment, that it's professionally cleaned and everything is where it was before you took residency, then it should be fine.
Right, right. And good for people who might be looking at moving, selling their own house or buying a home that they might walk into and think it's a lost cause because it does have an odor to it, realizing that there are ways to remedy that.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, because we do go into homes that are damaged, unfortunately, and it's a turnoff. You know, so if people understand that it's an easy fix, or it can be taken care of, then they shouldn't lose a sale of their dream home because it smells a little bit. It can all be taken care of.
Right, right. Well, that's great. And one of the things that you folks have, which I love, is this, the Consumer's Guide to Pet Stain and Odors in Your Home. And folks can find this at catamountcarpet.com. Is that right?
That's correct.
Can they download this as a PDF?
I believe they can, yes.
And we'll get
Yep.
we'll get a shot of this so that folks can see it. And gee, there's quite a lot of information in here for folks. You've got almost 20 pages of information about
What to do.
About what to
Pet
do.
stains, odors. We do a consumer awareness guide for all of our services. And this one here we found is very effective for people because people don't know what to do when they have pet problems. So we send them a booklet. We have them downloaded off our website. And it usually answers most of their questions. So they're informed when they call us, and they know the questions they ask. Even if they don't use our services, they know the questions they ask whoever they're going to use to help them with their problem.
Right, and I'm sure that a lot of folks will be thrilled to know that you don't have to resort to chemicals, especially if you have pets.
That's
I
right.
don't want to put a lot of chemicals down on my carpet because that's where my dogs lick their feet.
That's right.
So just knowing that just plain old 1 part white vinegar to 10 parts water or club soda
Yeah.
will do the trick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And try and keep it as green as possible. We're killing the planet now with the chemicals that we're using that people are putting in here on a daily basis. So if you can use green chemicals or green things that are found in nature.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I love that. I love that, that focus that you have on that. That's really important. So are there any final tips or anything else you'd like to share with people that we haven't got to, or any...
Well, one of the things that I would recommend, old carpet, new carpet, if you have them clean on a regular basis, and then have them Scotch guarded, and then if you have a puppy that pees on the carpet, you'll get to it right away. It will bead up. You take some club soda and a white towel and blot it up, and it won't have a problem. The longer it sits, and if it goes through the carpet into the pad, into the subflooring, is when you're going to have a problem. Sometimes it's so severe that you have to shellac the subflooring just to keep the odor from permeating because it really sucks it in so bad.
Yeah.
So Scotch guard your carpets, protect your home, get them clean once a year, vacuum all the time. Vacuum at least once a week is the key to keeping a clean home because the soils will abrade the carpets and you get walkways that are worn down, and a 2-year-old carpet looks like a 15-year-old carpet. So take care of your home. Love your pets. I love the pets. I love kids, old people, and pets. I love everybody.
Well, great, great. Well, thanks for coming. Really
that's
appreciate this. This is fabulous. Make sure you say hi to Jane for me, and we'll make sure that folks get this information about Magical Earth Retreats.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Don.
Okay.
That's great. Makes me want to go home and clean my carpets.
Call us. We'll do it for you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Down the pain.